Hey folks, I'm CPC Gamer, and welcome to the stream. And I kind of feel like I could probably set that up on like a soundboard, but it isn't. It's just me saying the same thing every time. I'm kind of good with that. Although speaking of soundboards, I do believe I have fixed the issue that we had in the last stream, where like the raid messages and stuff weren't playing music. They should now. Yeah. Also, Empirical Woodland, we do have badges. And do you know what else we have? Is, if you scroll over to your emotes over there, you should see one for CPC Gamer. I don't, because it's not actually part of the OBS overlay. But check it out, we have Dahlia having a cup of tea. These were done by the exceptionally skilled Goldfish Teeth. Highly recommend them. Go check them out. And yes, that's about it. I don't really have anything else to add because I can't tell you how my weekend went because my weekend is Thursday. I worked Saturday, Sunday. So I don't really have anything else to add to that. But hello, welcome in everybody. Hello, Elana Ray. Hello to my wife. Hello, O Whales as well. Hello to Pound Cake, but they're lurking, so shh, let them lurk. So then, don't really have any other announcements. So I'm gonna tab back over to the game. And let's keep going with Silent Hill. Because we're actually in a position where we could potentially end the game today. Because we're a little bit more than halfway through. Oh, it's tank controls. I forgot it was tank controls. It's even in the stream title. Oh, goodness. So what did we do last time? Last time, we got the key to the basement. That's right. Which is not super great, because nobody wants to go into the basement. Nobody wants to go to a hospital. Adding the two together is just... That's double trouble right there. Was it this door? It was this door. Okay. But it does give me a chance to talk about this game's enemy design, because I was going to do that in the last stream and I didn't. Because I do like me some lore. So the enemy design in, well, basically all the Silent Hill games is just drenched in symbolism. And no different in the first game. This is the one that started it off. And all the enemies in this game are based on, like, childhood fears. So you've got big angry dogs, because what kid isn't afraid of big angry dogs? I was. Like, the family who used to live a couple doors down from me had this, like, frothing Rottweiler in a cage. And, like, me now is afraid of that. Forget me aged 8, you know? But there's also effectively bullies at school. Just faceless, shapeless children attacking you for no reason. And like here, you've got doctors and nurses, because kids are afraid of whatever goes on in the hospital, right? The game does go into a little bit more detail with that, but generally speaking, the enemies are themed on childhood fears, and that's what you need to know. Although, there is also information on the disc. There's like models and textures for a bunch of cut enemies that are like mutated animals. So like there's a butterfly and a snake, and I think there's like a manta ray and a giant chicken boss fight. Oh, hello. Actually, keeping on with the symbolism, somebody mentioned this in a previous stream as well. The medical staff in this game have these, like, the parasitic growths on their backs, which is... It kind of suggests that that's what's piloting the staff around. Kind of like a cordyceps fungus. Which makes sense, right? Because doctors and nurses are supposed to help you. Why are they being mean? Something must be forcing them to do that, right? It's pretty clever. Also, enjoy your lurk, oh whales. This isn't good. That's fine, that's fine. Oh, just kick her on the way down. That was mean. But like the wriggling death throes animation that this one just did, it kind of implies that they're trying to grab at whatever is on their back. And it's one reason why the hammer does so well at taking them down, is because if you just take whatever is piloting them around, then they can't keep going. Hello, Cantaope. How are you? Have a happy Monday to yourself. I hope it's going okay. Let's cut a videotape. You do have a penguin badge. Thank you very much for subscribing and earning that. It's... Not a fan of this room. It just exists to have stuff throw glass bottles at me. It's set up so that the longer a person is subscribed to my channel, the fanciest hat Dahlia begins to wear. Silent Singer, hello. How are you? Please do come in.
What's this?
Well, this is a word used to refer to the idea just referenced.
Looks like someone's been here.
I'll do that joke every time. I don't care. Yes, enjoy your work, Lurk. I'm still here. I'm still going. I know you are as well. And I appreciate that. Alright, the examination room key. Can I pick up any of these? No, I can't. Okay. So, I think I am going to go and watch the videotape we just got. Because we know where there's a VCR in this hospital. It's on the second or third floor. So, let's go check it out. And then we will use the examination room key and find out whatever's going on in there. Also, I saw a message saying, like, the poor Rottweiler. I agree. I don't know how much of it was the neighbors keeping it in a cage and that's why it was mad versus it was mad and that's why they caged it, but it was still not something that a younger version of me wanted to interact with. It tended to howl a lot. It was kind of scary. But, like, it kind of makes sense. That is why they've included dogs as an enemy in this game. Kids are scared of dogs. And they've changed a few enemy locations around in this game. I've come to the wrong room. They've changed a few enemy locations around in the game, which kind of stops a plot point from making sense. But at the same time, you still kind of get where they were going with it. So, that's fine. And we didn't reach that plot point yet. We are about to. And I will explain that then. I guess the video player was on the next floor? I'm sure it was marked on the map, right? Yes, it was. Oh, we have an incident in chat. Hello, everyone. That is absolutely fine. Please continue lurking and enjoying your lurk. I appreciate these people coming in and just screaming hello at me. This is a conversation I had with another user. Essentially, the best kind of love is just screaming I love you at people. So, there you go. Well, I got very little from that, so... Thank you very much, videotape. I like how Harry doesn't even comment on it. He's just, yep. That definitely was a plot item we just used. Alright, let's head back down and go to, yes, the examination room, and then see if we can get out of this hellish, burned out hospital. Or the hellspital, if you will. Don't actually call it that. That would be dumb. Okay. Silent Strike, thank you very much for a Prime subscription. Hopefully it played the cool little jingle. I didn't hear it. Maybe you did. Amazing! Oh, I'm so happy!
Finally, someone else who's okay.
Would you believe it was as easy as ticking the box that says, let OBS play this sound?
What's yours?
Harry Mason.
Harry, tell me what's happening here. Where is everybody? I must have gotten knocked out. When I came to, everyone was gone. It's awful.
So you don't know anything either. Great. I just don't get it. It's like this is all some kind of bad dream.
Yeah, a living nightmare.
Let me ask you, have you seen a little girl
He's
around
gonna say
here?
it, chat. Get ready.
Short, black hair, 7 years old?
There it is.
A 7-year-old girl. What, she's your daughter?
Yes.
A 7-year-old girl. I can't say that I have. I was unconscious all this time. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Do you know anything about all that weird stuff in the basement?
No? Why? Is there something down there?
You don't know? Don't you work here?
We're under strict orders never to enter the basement storeroom. So I really don't know. What did you say was down there?
Well, it's... Damn. My head.
What's wrong?
This seems to be a recurring theme in this game, right?
Harry, let me help you.
As soon as we start pulling at threads.
Was I dreaming?
You were too late.
It's you.
Yes, Dahlia Gillespie.
How are you, gentlemen?
Tell me everything you know. What's going on?
Darkness, The town is being devoured by darkness. Strength must overcome petty desire, childish sleep talk. I knew this day would come.
What are you talking about? I don't understand a word of this.
Believe the evidence of your eyes. The other church in this town, that is your destination. This is beyond my abilities. Only you can stop it now. Have you not seen the crest marked on the ground all over town?
So that's what I saw in the schoolyard. What does it mean?
It is the mark of Samael. Don't let it be completed.
Hey, wait!
Well, we have at least some kind of clue for where we're going next. We've got to find the other church. And also grab this key, because if you don't, you have to come all the way back here and get it. I've done that in the past. And in fact, we've also seen a clue as to where we're going next, which... it was in the previous stream at this point, but we saw somebody enter a building, and that, presumably, is where we are heading next. Oh, incidentally, I'm going to show you this. This has changed from use OK to use new game because I've unplugged the Hyper Blaster from my console, which is pretty clever. Like, it hasn't removed it from my inventory. It just says I absolutely cannot use it right now. Pretty clever touch, I thought. Also, no word of a lie, when I was like getting ready to check out the Silent Hill category on Twitch, as of right now, there was, I didn't deal with these dogs. Let's not do that. Surely I will not get attacked by them again if ever I come back this way. Oops. Just gonna pause that for now. So, yeah, when I was checking out the Twitch category for Silent Hill, one of them was a French streamer, and the subtitle on the screen was Elle vient d'avoir 7 ans, la mort dernier cheveux non et corps. Apologies for my French pronunciation, but basically, she turned 7 last month, her hair is black and short. I'm like, that is the perfect thumbnail to have shown me that Twitch. Thank you. Also, I'm just going to keep quiet so you can listen to this for a moment. Very English, French. I know. I forget we have like a French speaker in channel. I think I did okay for someone who doesn't speak the language. Like at all. So, you can kind of hear the radio softly droning in our pocket. And this indicates a plot point is coming up, in fact. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Make this left, and go this way. Wow, there are a lot more enemies than I thought there were. Let's just ignore them. So the radio is softly howling in our pockets because it's indicating that some terrible change has happened and things are about to get a lot worse. For example, being chased by all these monsters. That's not cool. And the sound is actually a dentist's drill being run through a series of modulators. Akira Yamaoka has a good ear for just terrible sounds. By which I mean his sound design's really good. He just makes horrible sounding things. It's great. And it's something that kind of inspired me when I was in my teens. It's too dark, so turn on the light. There you go. Oh yeah, I remember what I need to do. Same as before, we need to shuffle the bookcase over a little bit. So when I was in my teens, I wanted to do some sound design like this, and I did a bit of experimentation
this?
myself, and
Harry!
I
Sybil?
found some pretty cool tips and tricks.
I'm glad you're okay. I shouldn't have left you. Things are worse than I thought. It's nuts.
What are you doing here? I thought you left town.
I saw you go in here, so I followed you. I couldn't get out. All the roads out of town are blocked. Cars have completely stopped running. The phones and radios are still out too.
What about my daughter? Did you see her?
I did see a girl.
Was it Cheryl?
I only caught a glimpse of her through the fog. I went after her, but she vanished. I don't know about your daughter, but
And you just let her go? Where was it?
on Bachman Road, she was heading towards the lake. Now don't get excited. It wasn't like she ran off exactly. There was no place for her to go. The road has been obliterated.
What? So then Cheryl...
It was like she was walking on thin air.
Hmm?
What about you? Anything?
Yeah, I met this bizarre woman. Her name's Dahlia Gillespie. Do you know her?
Dahlia Gillespie. No. And?
She said something about the town being devoured by darkness. Gibberish like that. Any idea what it means?
I don't know that I'd call it gibberish, because he's
Darkness
seen the
devouring
otherworld.
town.
Like, come on, Harry.
Must be on drugs. They sell them to the tourists. The Force still can't figure out who's behind it. None of our leads have panned out. And the investigation is stalled.
What could drug trafficking have to do with all this?
I really don't know. But maybe that's the darkness she was talking about. That's all I can think of. What's this?
Just discovered it. Maybe there's something back there.
Let's have a look.
Wait. We don't know what's back there. I'd better check it out first.
I'm a cop. I should go.
That's sound logic.
No, I'm going.
All right. I'll cover you from here. Be careful.
Honestly, I'd send the cop,
If anything looks fishy, get back here on the double.
because they're trained to deal with this sort of thing,
Okay.
ostensibly.
Sybil,
Yeah?
do you know anything about... well, like some other world? It's like some kind of bad dream.
What are you talking about?
I'm not quite sure. I try to make sense of it, but then my mind goes blank. Everything's dark there, and I hear sirens in the distance. I met this nurse, Lisa. It's like I was there, but not really. It's all a blur, like some kind of hallucination, you know?
I mean, we were just talking about the drug
I have
problem,
no idea
so
what you're talking about, Harry.
you want to put those two together?
Oh,
Oh, he sounds so
I
sad.
was just wondering. Never mind.
Harry. You're tired.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, so let's explore what is back here. Sybil kind of makes a point, though, that, like, there is a drug problem in Silent Hill, like, the town itself, which kind of ties into a bit of the lore for what exactly is happening here. Like, is it a town with nobody in it, or is it, like, a tourist town where people
What's this?
go for, like, cheap weed or whatever it is?
Some kind of altar. Never seen anything like this before. Maybe this is the other church.
That powder becomes important in the second game. And this axe is a weapon that it's just not important. It's not as good as anything that we have in our inventory right now.
What the?
Harry? Are you okay? Harry? Harry?
So that's not a good sign. Well, this is one of those things. There's not a great deal of jump scares in the Silent Hill series.
Lisa?
This one has some,
That I'm in the hospital?
You were having a bad dream.
but it's just sort of finding its footing in this game rather than the others.
Hey, you don't look too good. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Nothing you need to worry about.
Well, if you're sure. Lisa, do you know a woman named Dahlia Gillespie?
Oh yeah, that crazy Gillespie lady. She's kind of famous around here. She never sees anybody, so I don't know that much about her. But I heard her kid died in a fire, and supposedly she's been crazy ever since.
Well, she says the town is being devoured by the darkness. Do you have any idea what she's talking about?
The town devoured by the darkness. Yes, I think I do. Before this place was turned into a resort, the townspeople here were on the quiet side. Everybody followed some kind of queer religion. Weird occult stuff, black magic, that kind of thing. As young people moved away, the people figured they'd been summoned by the gods. Evidently, things like that used to happen around here all the time. Before the resort, there really wasn't anything else out here. Everyone was so flipped out, you gotta blame it on something.
Probably the rock and
A lot of
roll.
new people came in and everybody clammed up about it.
A cult.
Last time I heard anything about it was, gosh, years ago. When several people connected with developing the town died in accidents. People said it was a curse. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I'll shut up.
Was that another dream? Did I pass out again?
Okay, this bit is not narrated, so I can start talking again. So a line that Harry mentioned there, that he had a car accident, he could have just hit his head, that is kind of a hint towards one of the endings for this game, where that's more or less how it goes. But... well, we will be... are we going to go for that ending? Nah, we're going to go for the best ending, I think. Because... that's me. I'm that kind of a completionist. Oh, also, this reminds me. So a couple things. First off, I considered, hey chicks, because like everyone is like penguin chicks. Apparently Harry is severely injured. Let's fix that. There we go. And hello, Crowley. Welcome in. So yeah, I looked it up, and I found out how to get the katana that I mentioned in the last stream, and that is, you can only get it on your 3rd playthrough. Also, Silent Singer, no worries. I know everyone is busy with work, so don't even worry about it. Have a good day, and I'll catch up with you soon. Definitely glad to see you, though. That is correct. So to get the katana, you have to be on your 3rd playthrough, and you have to have a save file with the best ending and the worst ending. And then, the door in the doghouse will open up, and that's how you get the special weapon inside. That's the wrong button. That's the button I wanted. I'm gonna reload that. I forgot that this was here. This is a Virgin Megastore. Amazing. Oh, also, I mentioned, like, this game is supposed to take place in 1988, and this is one of the best examples of that. Like, just a wall of TVs that make up a big TV. I feel like that's a very 80s/90s thing. Every kids' Saturday morning TV show had one of those. Like, Going Live or Whack-A-Day.
Cheryl.
Did it say that? Let's check. I think it says Vestal, as in, like, Vestal Virgins, because that is definitely the Virgin Entertainment logo, but legally distinct, so you can't sue us. It just reminds me of Procol Harum and A Whiter Shade of Pale, and how much I love that song. There's something about. Oh, ooh. I forgot about this, but I'll take that. Some rifle shells. Very useful. I hear a lot about Deus Ex, Invisible War, and I'm going to turn to you on this one. Is that game good? Because I know that people didn't like it, but I hear people talking about it fondly. Like, can I? Oh, okay. I cannot shoot those things. Oh, right, because now it's this. This is, like, probably the worst boss fight in the game, because I'm never entirely sure how to do it. But, hey, free gun. So what happens is, this giant worm comes out of the ground, launches some acid of some sort at us, and then burrows before we can do anything with it. And this just keeps happening. I mean, at least we got a hit in. And I've heard people say, like, hey, if you just stand on the grates, the thing can't get you. But it can. And there's no real pattern to where it's coming from or where it's going. It just kind of shows up. Jaded Mew, hello. We are a snack for this bug, apparently. Does that count? But this kind of ties into what I was saying earlier, like... Oh, we got it! Amazing! The enemies tie into childhood fears. Like, kids are afraid of bugs. A tiny child does not like spiders, so... You gotta make sure there's none of those in the room, you know? So you'd be afraid of a giant worm as well. Right, let's reload that, and... Well, since we had a dream about speaking to Lisa, I suppose the logical thing would be to go and find her. And speak to her again. And see if she has any additional information. This enemy is called the Night Flutter. And it's the creator of this game's favorite monster in the game. Fun fact. So that is what the... I was going to make sure I'm going the right way before I start on my next tangent. Yes, I am. So, the radio whining as we were making our way here, it signifies that things have gotten worse and more dangerous, and that's kind of why. You'll notice that the Night Flutters are a lot bigger and scarier than the Air Screamers, and we've seen even bigger, scarier looking dogs than the ones we found thus far. Like, whatever is happening, either it's getting stronger, or we're getting closer to it, or both. So there is suddenly a lot more danger afoot. And I'm always afraid of running through this area, because I know that I can't fall off the edges. At least in this game. They introduced it in 3, and took it away in 3, because nobody really liked it. It's one of the few downsides to that game. But I'm always worried about running around on this, on the grating, in case I fall off the edge. Was that a stock cougar sound? That sounds a little bit like the stock cougar sound. And I know, I'm a big fan of stock sound effects. I'm kind of weird like that. Every time I find the stock pot sound, I just point it and go, ah, I found it! Right, if I'm not turned around... Yeah. Enter this road and make a right. I'm so glad that I can navigate on this... I'm so glad I can navigate on this map in this hell dimension. It's great. Some kind of auto-aim would be nice. Like, I'm not asking for an aimbot or like an automatic headshots or anything like that, but... Well, maybe I'm not going to go this way. Maybe there is a massive hole in the ground. So I'm going to guess it's this next one on the left. I see a comment, Crowley and I. It's about to scroll off the screen, but I see it. And I acknowledge it. Did I just one-shot that thing out the air? Amazing, I'll take it. I feel like I'm having a way easier time with these guys than I did with the standard Groaners. Because these guys are just coming straight at me. Oh, you definitely know you're going on the right way when they add another layer of just nightmarish music. Can I go around this way? No, I can't. But yeah, no, I've mentioned it in the past. I'm a big fan of dynamic music. I'm surprised they were able to get it going in this game because the PlayStation doesn't usually support that. But here it is. It's pretty good. Once again, I remind you, just cats. Big fan of this store. They just sell cats. And I'm pretty sure this means that I'm on my way to the hospital as well, because I think it was just cats, and then... yeah, here it is, just on the left. Ignoring those. Where is the gate? Please let me in. There we go. I'm told it is International Cat Day today. I did not know that. I'm very happy to share that information. Big fan of cats. My family is amassing cats. None of them are actually ours. So, like, my parents have a cat called Ember. She just walked in through the door several years ago. Hasn't left yet. And recently, I think 3 or 4 other cats have just done the same thing. So they just... they don't own any cats. They just show up. Now, can I use this now? I can't use this now. Maybe it's next time. But I think that's like top tier gaslighting, let's be honest, is cats just walking into your house and going, "Hello, I live here now." And then you go, "I think you do live here. Yes, I will go and buy you some food." Empirical Woodland, that is a very good way of putting it. Nobody owns cats.
Harry!
We are just tolerated by the cats.
Glad you're okay.
Thank God you came back. I was scared to be here all alone.
I'm here now. I was worried too. I'm real happy to see you. Lisa, can you tell me how to get to the lake?
The lake? You take Bachman Road.
The road's blocked.
Well, that's the only way out there.
Are you sure? There's gotta be another way.
Wait! I just remembered something.
What?
There's a waterworks over by my old elementary school. It's been abandoned for years. There's an underground tunnel out there used for inspections or something. I remember hearing it runs all the way to the lake.
Really? You think I can get to the lake from there?
I've never been down in there myself, so I'm not positive. Besides, it's all fenced off to keep people out.
If there's a chance, I've got to try.
Harry, don't go. I don't want to be alone. It's so scary, I can't stand it.
How about coming with me? This may not be the safest place in the world either. I can't promise you anything, but I'll do my best to protect you.
No. Somehow I feel I'm not supposed to leave this place. Oh, Harry, I'm so scared and cold.
Look, just wait here a little longer. I'll be back as soon as I find my daughter.
Harry?
I'm glad she decided to stay here. Can you imagine a Silent Hill game where you have to escort a helpless female companion around? That would be the worst. Anyway, I've heard stories like that as well about cats just going to other people's houses and getting fed. I know for sure that my parents' cats do that. And then pretend that they don't. Local cat has literally never been fed. Ooh, what is this dark wave? I like this.
What?
So, you may have forgotten that we had this this blue stone in our inventory. Well, this is one of the places where we need to use it. And we see... well, nothing, really. I didn't see any of that. Must have been a weather balloon. I just want to stay here and listen to this, like, prototype perturbator track, I'll be honest. That's really good. So this is kind of cool. If you try to leave, you can't. The road has been blocked off, and you can only take this one path. And in order to do that, we have to go up these stairs, and... well, let's see what we find when we're up there. I like how Harry's just kind of rolling with it. Like, okay, road's gone. It's just single path leading to a giant boss fight. The moths come back for round 2. So this is the worm that we just fought in the mall, except it's grown up and it's come back. Also, my favorite dumb fact, this music is called I'll Kill You on the soundtrack. Nothing clever, it's just called I'll Kill You. And looking at how much health it's taking, yes, it absolutely will. It's something that comes up in the second game as well. The idea of moths and butterflies being used to deal with dodgy camera work. No, moths and butterflies used as a theme of death and rebirth, which certainly has its place in this game. We've certainly seen a lot of dead things walking around that shouldn't be. But it also, as I say, it comes in the second game as well. Did I just click on the wrong screen? No, I didn't. That transition would have looked a lot cooler if I hadn't gone to my preamble screen, which I'm using for a channel point redemption. Don't tell anyone. Shh. It's fine. But now we are back in regular Silent Hill again. I thought there were no monsters at this point, but apparently there are. Empirical Woodland, you suggest saving? That would be a good idea. I would need to find a save point for that. Man, I just fought one of the most difficult bosses in this game. How is this standard enemy giving me hassle? I don't know. You make a good point, though. I should probably save when I find a save point and get the opportunity to do so. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Probably just going to skip these guys. I don't need to deal with them right now, because the game actually does something really, really useful at this point. And we will see what that is when we get to the bridge and transition to the next area. Also, I'm really glad you can run away from enemies in this game. There are some Silent Hill games that don't get that. Looking at you, Homecoming. You will just lead parades of monsters around the town. That game gets crazy. So something that I really, really appreciate is that when you get to Old Silent Hill, the game just loads you in where you need to be. Because if you look at the map, we've actually gone through a lot of the puzzles, and there's a lot of runaround to get here. And the game just goes, nah, presume Harry did all of that and went through Kay Gordon's house, and here we are. Oh, don't use that. I've got a couple of these. These are elixirs, effectively. They give you full health and make you immune to damage for a short period of time. So you're going to want to keep those. Keep them handy. Don't just accidentally use them for no reason. Oh, I thought I took it off. Did nobody hear the lock smashing sound? Let's try that again. There we go. You can also shoot the lock off, which I don't believe actually works. I want to say the Mythbusters have tried that. But I always take it out with a hammer, because it feels a lot more worthwhile to go at it with a bludgeoning weapon, you know? Alright, let's go to the mandatory sewer level, because we still had to have those. This was 1999, so here we are. Now, the main problem with the sewer level is something that we touched on in the last stream, mostly discussion between Crowley and myself. The radio doesn't work when you're underground. Which, generally, yes, radios don't work underground. But if the monsters are causing the radio waves, shouldn't it still work? I don't know. Wait, was that bug behind me? Yes, it was. That is not cool, game. The fun thing, in the movie, those things have, like, human faces for some reason. I don't know why. They're just supposed to be giant cockroaches. Again, going back to childhood fears. Also, here's another enemy type. Just unceremoniously introduced. I like it. It's great. I'm just gonna quick look over my notes. They're called Hanged Scratches. And I always take these guys to be representative of the green lion sign above the antique shop that we went to. We'll see why as we get towards the end of the game and it is revealed where all these monsters are specifically coming from. But I always took them to be like a mutated version of the green lion sign. Also, fun thing, it's hard to hear it anyway, and it's going to be harder to hear it with me talking over it, but they yell, "Let go of me," when they go to attack. That's kind of messed up. I will take these rifle shells. So generally speaking, you're not going to want to use the rifle just against enemies that you find out in the field. They're a boss weapon / final boss weapon, which is kind of unfortunate because the rifle's really good. And I feel like they give you a weapon only to not let you use it as much as you want or should. But it's one of those things. I mean, it's a survival horror game. We're not supposed to be particularly strong or powerful going through this. We're just a writer looking for his daughter. Which, incidentally, I don't believe that's mentioned in game, but it is in, like, the manual and the guidebook and stuff like that. Harry's a writer. Just writes paperbacks and that sort of thing. Incidentally, there is a map to this area. I don't know where it is, so I'm just wandering around and hoping I find out where it is. Oh, that's Stephen King, such a prolific author with many names. There's a picture of him in this game. In fact, it's in the bar right at the start. It's a picture of Stephen King with a shotgun. Just aimed at the photographer. And it says, "Study, damn it," underneath it. It's a poster that he made when he was in university. And I swear it sounds like I'm making that up, but I'm genuinely not. Is this a map? Let this be a map. It is. I will take it. And let's save. The game grades you on how often you save, but it doesn't actually change the ending. We'll see the endings like as we go through and as we get to it. But saving just gives you a lower rank at the end. There you go. Kind of hard to hear that, but that is a filtered clip of someone going, "Let go of me." That's pretty messed up, game. Right, what are we doing? I think we're going this way. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to the next area, and then there's actually some sleuthing to do. I'm looking forward to it, but it's a twisty maze of passages all alike. It's the sewers, you know? Not a great deal to see or do down here. Even worse, I seem to remember there's another one as well. Like, there's a second sewer area, and I am in a place where I don't want to be. Completely lost. That's what. Can you see why certain Silent Hill games, specifically Origins, it gives you an award if you don't check the map, because it seems to be the way in Silent Hill games every few steps. Am I on the right path? Yes, I am. Still going the right way? Yes, I am. Usually I'm a lot better at navigation than this, but I guess not in game. I hear those bugs. Where are you? So these guys are some of the worst, because if you don't stomp them, they will get back up. Again, they're cockroaches. They're incredibly resilient. That's kind of their thing. Ooh, health kit, though. I'll take that. Probably won't use it. Might need it later. It's one of those. But, you know, I'll have it. I have to say, chat, right, that was a lot more, I was going to say that was a lot easier than I remember it being, but, apparently here's level 2. Is that water? How is there water on a second floor? Or is this going to be one of those Silent Hill impossible dream logic things? Thank you for that black space camera. That was great. This is something you will come to notice and recognize through, like, most of the Silent Hill series, is that the camera's just in its own world a lot of the time. And they do tend to use that to its advantage sometimes. Like, towards the start of this game, you'll recall we saw that the shot where it was in the corner of the alleyway, and it went up and over us. That was pretty great. And Silent Hill 2, Take a Shot, does it where the camera's kind of lazily drifting around, kind of like it's a dream, which goes with the themes of the game. Didn't I just come from this way? No, I didn't. And I kind of like it that this game was able to take a lot of technical limitations and turn them into strengths. Like the camera not being the best, and the draw distance being really low. Like, yeah, sure, town's covered in a dense fog. That's why you can't see more than a very short draw distance in front of you. It's fine, don't even think about it. And it's to the point that the PS2 games only look as good as they do on PS2 because the hardware is designed with Silent Hill games in mind. Are you gonna aim at that guy, Harry? There we go. It's like Silent Hill 2 and 3 have been released on a couple of other consoles, but they look best on PS2. Because that console is specifically good at sliding translucent JPEGs around in front of the camera. Which is kind of technical, and something we'll really talk about when we get to that. But it's just one of my... just a fact that I like knowing. This feels like bait. Is this bait? No. Not immediately. That's fine. I'll take that. Come on. There we go. I think I remember what the back end of this dungeon is. I think I'm going to have to go all the way to one end of the gantry and then back down again. They're not just going to let me go out the door that's right there. Are they? No. Oh, I thought this... Okay. In my head, there is a second sewer section. And this was the end of that. Maybe I'm wrong. Incidentally, we were talking about Stephen King. That's the last message in the chat. The opening fight in this game, the only non-boss enemy that you have to kill, that I'm sure that's supposed to be a reference to The Mist. Just this monster out of nowhere comes crashing through a shop window, and it's like, now it's your problem. I also remember that being a pretty good DOS game. Text adventure. But I could be wrong. It might have just been bad. Fart Knock Life for us. Hello. Do come in. Is my little raid thing going to play? If it is, I missed it. Welcome to Silent Hill. Oh, I know that you played through this recently, and you've toyed with the idea of doing so again. I'm going for the best ending. So if you don't want to get spoiled on that, just be aware that's what I'm going to be doing. Otherwise, hi. Good to see you. They were playing Code Vein. I do not know what that is. What is Code Vein? This fight's optional, by the way. Don't do it. You can just run. Anime Dark Souls. Alright. That sounds pretty cool. Those things are going to be in this room as well, aren't they? I hear them clicking around, but they could just be outside the other door. I don't know. I got my key. Let's run. Okay. That's fine. I was about to start talking. That didn't make me jump. It's fine. Oh, audio issues are never good. Hopefully you're able to get it sorted, and quickly as well. Like, basically nobody was here for it, which is fine. But my test stream had very similar issues, and it was a remarkably easy fix. So, as I say, hopefully that will be you with Drakengard. We can just do it. Because from what I've seen, that series is really good, but also kind of bonkers, and I like it. Drakengard 4 has genuinely some of the best angry voice acting I have ever heard. Okay, so. Actually, I talked about us going and getting the good ending where we play this game. We're going to start on that now. Right after I raid this house. Is it this house? Pretty sure one of these... Yeah, you go. One of these buildings has some stuff in it. So we have one item that we need to influence something to get the good ending. To get the second, we need to go, if I remember rightly, to Annie's bar. So let's do that. Let's hope the camera catches up with us. There we go. Also, I really like the kind of warped seagull sounds and scraping metal in the background. Good touch. Good touch. Is it this building? No. It's one of those, like, I know where I need to go, but not strictly speaking where it is. So let's hope that we find it soon before we get mobbed. By those guys. Running on the idea that the enemies are based on, like, childhood fears. Those guys, they're called rompers. The implication is that they are older kids. Or maybe adults who are just generally threatening.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm beat. I thought I was a goner there.
How does one spell goner? I'm sure it's not like
go?
that.
Did you find a way out?
No, not yet. How about you?
Zip. But it's too soon to give up. This craziness can't go on forever. A military rescue squad should be here any time now. If they come through the town, we're home free.
I hope so.
I better get going. This isn't the time to stand around flapping our gums.
Bella Sunshine, hello.
Do you know a girl called Alessa?
Please do come in. Happy to see you.
No.
That's the most direct answer we've had to that. Just, nope. And off he goes. Now, there should be... Yeah, there it is. I really like this chain of puzzle sequences, because you actually do have to do a bit of detective work. So we have a Kaufman key with number 3 on it. And we have a receipt with a code on it. I am doing okay. I'm genuinely having a blast streaming. I'm happy to be doing Silent Hill, like the series, and I thought that sign said something else. Just the series in this game in particular. It's a lot of fun. So, if we go into our inventory, we can find what we just picked up. And we can look at the receipt. It says 0473 at Indian Runner. And then if we look at our map, well, there's an Indian Runner just down the street from us. So let's go over there and see what we can find. I'm going to get mobbed as soon as I step out of here, aren't I? I just noticed that little slap on the side of the head. That's kind of goofy. They did a number on my health, though. So. Got this ridiculous amount of items in our inventory. And... let's go. If I'm reading right, we need to go this way. You know, it's very rare that I come through this park when I play the game. I don't know why, I just rarely, if ever, do. Excuse me, bird. I'm just gonna check this right here. Oh, this is why I very rarely come through the park, is because I'm not going in the right direction. Oh, incidentally, back to the map for a second. You can kind of tell that this is the late 90s, because in addition to naming everything after authors, we also have a South Park in Silent Hill. And I know it's like the park that is in the south, but you know it's named after that one. Come on. Right. Here we go. Indian Runner. And... Hey, the crazy jumpy sloth thing, do you happen to know the code? No? Okay. Alright, so what else do we have? We've got some rifle shells. Oh, this has always stuck with me. We've got some FedEx espresso delivery. And a note. And a note. August 20th. Oh, hey, that's weirdly contemporaneous. He came by. I handed over the package that the woman left here. September 12th. He showed up at Norman's, too. Don't want to be involved with the likes of them anymore, but well, I'm getting creeped out even more than before. Thought of leaving town, but I'm afraid of what will happen if I do. I'm fairly sure that is also the code to the safe, but I don't remember. Oh, there's just a key to the safe. That's fine. Do you not want to use the safe key there, Harry? You could, like, chainsaw it open, maybe. I don't know. So, there's some kind of drug in the safe. Weird. Right, back door. 0886. So, we can kind of infer from the note that the drugs in the safe there are being passed around town. I mean, Sybil has also mentioned that this is a problem within Silent Hill. And since someone has been coming here, we should also go to Norman's. Just as soon as we deal with some of these. You too. Right. Actually, my health is fine. I cannot tell where Norman's is. I'm gonna think, like, down here, but you see how blurry this is, right? I'm not having a good time reading that. Just making sure we're on the right path, and we're not, which is why I keep checking this. There we go. So this is actually one of my favorite little puzzle sequences in this game and like the wider franchise, because there's no indication that you really need to do it or that you should be doing anything. You just, hey, sure, do a bit of exploration and see what you find. And there's also no particular clue as to what to do next from the game. It's just the receipt says Indian Runner, so just infer that you have to go there. Right, now if I'm reading this right, the place we need to go is across the road here. Yes, it is. All right. This tripped me up for the longest time because there's a lot of stuff in this room and none of it really does anything. You just have to like, oh, there's a magnet there. Let's go grab that, I guess. And we use that someplace else. And this is the next bit of inference that we need to make. We found the Kaufman key. Hello, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. I know your internet does that, living where you do. I'm glad that it's given you a break. This isn't part of the puzzle chain. This is just something you can do in the parking lot. There's literally nothing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's a swamp gas. That's what that is. Anyway, we have Kaufman's key, which has the number 3 on it. So we can infer that we need to find number 3 in this weirdly numbered motel, excuse me. And then, if I can find the right side, and the tank controls behave themselves, we can do the old classic, push the shelf, which reveals a key of some description. Here we can use the magnet that we found earlier. Somewhere. There it is. Which gets us a motorcycle key, which is also the source of a great many like urban legends and like schoolyard stories back when the game came out. Like you can totally take the bike and ride it around Silent Hill. You don't even know. Now I just have to remember where the motorbike is, because I don't actually know. Actually, is that a note? Can I read that? I feel like this looks like a note. No, it's not. Okay. There is a bonus towards the end of this game if you find all the notes, but only in the US, no, the UK and the Japan versions. It was removed from the US version. The dust has been wiped away from around the gas tank cap. Oh, let's use the key and find out why. It looks like the busted vial I found in the director's office at the hospital. Curious.
Give me that.
What is this?
That's none of your business. Instead of messing with that, how about coming up with a way to get out of here? You shouldn't be hanging around here goofing off. What do you think you're doing? You want to get yourself killed? Get out of here.
Okay, take it easy.
Unless you want to die, keep your mind on business. Got it?
If you happen to own the trade review demo of the game, these 3 lines of dialogue are fully narrated by Harry. I don't know why they aren't in the public release, but there you go. Those lines are narrated. So that's the end of this little puzzle chain. We have done all that we need to do. And I'm going to walk right into a monster ambush again, aren't I? This is fine. There you go. It's fine. So that's the end of that little puzzle chain. And having completed it, we are on track to get one specific set of endings. And if I'm reading that rightly, I need to go past you. I can hopefully outrun that guy and make him leave me alone, right? Are we going the right way? Yes, we are. Okay. It's one of those weird things, like, it's kind of ingrained in me. I know where the next step of the puzzle chain is. It's the fact there are rifle bullets down here is not. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. But I like the way that this game does that puzzle chain, like I say, but I also like the way that it doesn't tell you that it's there. What you're supposed to do is get to the end, presumably get the bad ending, and go, oh, it's listed as the bad ending? What else could I have done?
What's this?
And then you go back and play it again, and find the rest of the stuff. Several bad things have already happened, Harry. Again, I hate to be that guy. And you know it's true because I keep saying how much I hate to do it. So, that's how you know. Anyway, let's just run completely off the edge of the map into the pit, and Harry died, and that's how the game ends. That's a lie. Let's keep going along the actual path and make our way towards the lighthouse. And I'm reasonably confident, like, there's no other buildings that we can go into between now and our destination. It's just a case of you gotta go there to the lighthouse. Although, having said that, with the optional puzzle chain we just did, that's a lot of work for, like, this era of PlayStation game. I'm really glad they did it. I mean, I always appreciate when games put in a lot of work into optional areas, because I know most games don't do that anymore. Like, if they're going to put time into developing an area, well, by golly, you're going to look at it, player. We will take control of the camera and point you directly at it, if we have to. Do you know what? Thinking about it, I don't think that is the stock cougar sound. I'm thinking of a monster in Silent Hill 4, which does do the stock cougar sound. And, like, it's really, really blatant. Have you missed anything super fun? I like to think my commentary, but that's a matter of taste. What you missed was we did an optional puzzle chain where we found a mysterious red liquid, which was promptly stolen away from us, and now we don't have it anymore. But in doing that, we have locked ourselves into one particular branch for the ending. I'm generally also a big fan of how the Silent Hill games do the endings. Like, there are some that get it incredibly wrong. Homecoming does it, Downpour does it, where you just choose your ending, effectively, as you're playing the game. The game will just give you 2 big button prompts, and then it's like, hey, which of these button prompts / endings are you going to choose? And then that's what you get. I don't believe there was a UFO in Empirical Woodlands. That is crazy talk right there. And shush, there was no such thing. It was weather station. That's what it was. Also, this always got me when I was younger. Like, yeah, there's just this crucified body on the boat, and Harry's just like, ugh, I gotta go over here now.
Sybil,
Harry,
how did you get back here?
I followed the sewer. Were you the one who cut the fence?
Yeah. I'm glad you made it. I was worried about you.
You were worried? Where did you disappear to? Never mind. I want to know what's going on here.
That was a very quick turnaround, Sybil.
What is with this town?
This may sound really off the wall, but listen to me. You've got to believe me. I haven't gone crazy, and I'm not fooling around. At first, I thought I was losing my mind. But now I know I'm not. It's not me. This whole town. It's being invaded by the otherworld. By a world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life. Little by little, the invasion is spreading, trying to swallow up everything in darkness. I think I'm finally beginning to understand what that lady was talking about.
Harry, hold on a minute. I don't get it.
Look, I don't understand it all myself. I guess I can't explain it.
Well, what's making this happen?
I don't know that either. But I do know Cheryl is there.
There?
Under whoever created this darkness. Cheryl is somewhere and she needs my help.
Harry, this whole thing's been a major blow to you. You need to rest.
Sybil,
The demon is awakening, spreading those wings.
Dahlia Gillespie.
Was it not as I said? I see it all now. Yes, everything. Hungry for sacrifice, the demon will swallow up the land. I knew this day would come. And what's more, the task is almost finished. There's only 2 left. To seal this town to the abyss, the mark of Samael. When it is completed, all is lost. Even in daytime, darkness will cover the sun. The dead will walk, and martyrs will burn in the fires of hell. Everyone will die.
So what am I supposed to do? I've got to save Cheryl.
It is simple. Stop the demon. The demon taking that child's form. Stop it before your daughter becomes a sacrifice. Before it is too late. Stop it! Stop it!
What do I do?
Go to the lighthouse on the lake. And to the center of the amusement park. Make haste. You are the only hope.
Look, Harry. I really don't get what's going on. But if there's a chance we can save your daughter, I'm in.
I mean, that's both of us, Sybil.
I'll check out the amusement park. You go to the lighthouse.
Sybil, thanks.
You will need to use it.
Use what?
The flowers. Only with that can you stop it.
What about Sybil?
Just a bunch of questions upon questions at this point. Anyway, to my previous point, I am going to call Empirical Woodlands a liar, because there are no UFOs in this game. This is a very serious horror game. That would be incredibly silly for them to include UFOs in this game. So, that's not real. I'm going to get this health drink, and these bullets, and I'm going to go save in a different slot for no reason. So, our next stop is the lighthouse, which is at the end of this pier. And I seem to recall this being... Did I just take the wrong route? No, I didn't. Amazing. I seem to recall this being kind of nightmarish, so let's... We're already being attacked. Oh, no. I remember this run being kind of nightmarish, so... Best of luck, Andy. You'll need it. Oh man, you want to talk about really bad foreign language line reads? James talking to that dog is, that is reading phonetic Japanese is what that is. Oh, hang on. I am really, really glad that this game uses, like, dynamic rumble with the controller. I am running out of bullets. Let's go back to you. Like, Harry's heartbeat rumbles the controller, so when it starts getting kind of heavy and hard, you're like, okay, now I need to heal. Now I need to go and do literally anything else. I believe it's actually possible to drop these guys in the water, but I could be wrong. Seems like the kind of thing the devs would think about, because there's actually a lot of small touches in this game, like, related to world building, so I can fully believe that they would include that. Obviously, we can't go off the edges because there's the invisible walls, but the enemies presumably can. Alright, let's just get that guy while he's down. And get beat up by that guy. That's not cool. Do you know what doesn't help? Right, first of all, the fact that we're running on tank controls, I'm not a fan. Second, tank controls that are reversed when we're backing up. I'm sorry, what? We will have less of that. I mean, we won't, because that is the control scheme, but, you know. And I get why they did it. It's because there's a lot of, like, rapidly switching camera angles. And if you have tank controls, you're always moving forwards and not just jerking around when you go to a new camera angle. But oh, what am I wrong about now, Crowley? Is it that camera controls are bad? Because camera controls, I mean tank controls are bad, because they are. I don't like them. Let's have a stealth drink right there. You didn't see anything. Oh, yeah, to my earlier point that I might be wrong. Well, I try to avoid it as often as I can. It's not a good time, but it has been known. This is not going well. I am not getting out of this. Can I, since I've got it, equip it, Andy. Don't just look at the bullets. There we go. This run is pretty awful. I remember a fair amount about this game in terms of like, oh hey, here's the next puzzle sequence and all. I remember this bit was kind of nightmarish. I forgot it was specifically this bad. Alright, hopefully those birds are going to leave me alone now. And I can just deal with the dogs, because they are a lot easier. Except I hear those birds coming to get me. That's fine. Because here's the lighthouse, and we're safe. Not gonna lie, I was half worried that I had potentially left a key back in the boat, and like, I'd have to go and get it. But actually, we're fine. This is the Vertigo shot! I've just realized this is the dolly zoom from Vertigo. Nice! I just thought it was like a really cool going up the lighthouse angle.
Wait! Damn, I was too late.
Well, that was a wash. So, back we go. Let's see if Sybil had any better luck in the amusement park. Hopefully she's not getting stuck on edges of polygons like I am. This is another reason why tank controls are not super great, because this could just be done very easily in 2D controls. And I believe it is in Silent Hill 2. Take a shot. Oh, that guy went for distance. That was great. Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you, game. That was weirdly nice of you.
Sybil hasn't come back.
Send me back here automatically. I'll take that.
That creep's sure to show up at the amusement park pretty soon. Let me be on time.
See, the polygons in this game are actually fine. It's the PS2. That's the one with the jagged edges. You take your eye out on those. Oh, right. I thought the game would also send me to the amusement park automatically. But it does not. So we gotta run there. Are you... There we go. Okay, as soon as we can take a left, we take a left. I'm going to avoid that. I'm not going to avoid that. I'm going to ignore that. How about? And go to the amusement park. Where there is actually a pretty cool glitch in certain versions of the game, but not this one. At least not that I have been able to find or replicate. Actually, there's two glitches that I have found. Oh, oh. I remember now. Like, now that the answer is directly in front of me, I know what it is. In order to get to the amusement park, we have to go through the sewers. I knew there was a second one. That doesn't look good. Right, I'm just going to pause right here for a moment for a couple of reasons. First of all, I need to get this map. Second, I need to heal. And third, I need to turn to my wife and I need to say, hey, you should probably take that stuff off the oven because it's been simmering for 2 hours now. And that's what you said. And it's probably ready by now. See, I knew I'd remember if I was streaming. So there we go. Are you telling me Carrie can't see that game? I can see that. There we go. Pretty good soundtrack down here as well. Lots of like Like, actual real-life noises. This just sounds like steam pipes and motors just gently ticking away in the background. I mean, I say good soundtrack. My first introduction to Silent Hill, like, as the franchise, was a piece of music from the second game called True, which gives me goosebumps, even now. I love that piece of music so much. And on the strength of that, I bought the soundtrack to the first two games. Because it's really good. But I was very surprised to find that rather than being like your standard video game soundtrack, track 1 loops 1.5 times, fades out, the soundtracks to the Silent Hill games are continuous mixes. And in particular, there's very little, like, melodious music in this game. There's a lot of... well, you've heard it. Ambient screeching and howling. Which is great for what it is. Oh, I just saw what was back there. Let's not deal with that right now. So, we have found these guys before. They were in the school. And they were not supposed to be in the school. They're supposed to show up here. And the reason they are here is because they are the stronger and mutated versions of the great... Can I aim at that thing? These guys, the Mumblers, are supposed to be the stronger and mutated versions of the Grey Children from the school. The things that are representative of, effectively, bullies. So much like how the dogs and the birds have gotten stronger, so have the humanoid enemies. And as I said, Harry's pieced it together. We can piece it together as well. Something's getting stronger, or we're getting closer to it. Can you aim at that guy, please? That would be grand. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a way to do, like, quick switching of targets as well. I've never found it out. Hello. Genuinely, where did you come from? Do you know, Crowley? I had never actually considered it that way. It might actually be the case that Harry is getting weaker. I sure hope you're back from taking that stuff off the stove, because you wanted to hear me, like, flinch at all the jump scares, and there you go. And it's a little weird, because this is not a series that usually relies on those. And it's fair, because this is the first game, and they were still kind of, like, working out what its identity is, so... I don't know. But it still gets me, and I still flinch, so... Hey, there you go. I hope that you're happy. Okay. I don't believe there's a map for the amusement park. You just sort of have to, like, go through it and find where you need to go. But in at least the first game, there are only a few enemies here. Like, we still have to watch out, but not too much. Oh, it's these guys. So, the glitch that I am aware of in certain versions of this game, reload that. You find one of these larval creepers, and you try to use the red liquid. Or you do use the red liquid. And it's possible to, for whatever reason, they are flagged that you can use this red liquid on them. Which, you're not supposed to do that. That's not what it is for. But if you do that, it glitches out the next part of the game and just lets you progress some part of the way just on your own. You get to sequence break. And you get a weird glitch cutscene when you do it. But I have never been able to replicate this, and I think it may be like a region specific, so I don't think it works in like the UK version of the game, which is what this is. Anyone hear that? That doesn't sound too good, does it? It sounds weirdly cheerful for what we're doing. Nope. Okay. I'm going to stop doing that, because it's not going to work, and I will just stand here all day trying it. So this area, you'll notice it's oddly quiet, especially given what we've just come from. And that is something that they use as a design philosophy in the series as a whole, where in the making of Silent Hill 2, Take a Shot, the DVD, Akira Yamaoka, the sound designer, talks about the notion of silence as a sound, and the idea that if you're in a room with nothing, actually no sound, that can be every bit as oppressive as his own brand of like screeching metal soundtrack. By which I mean literal metal screeching, not like heavy metal. Although he has done some of that. Guy's a rock star. It's amazing. I am so lost. Like, I thought the sewers were bad, but nah, this is worse than that. And the annoying thing is, I know exactly what I'm looking for, I just don't know where it is. We're actually going to get ice cream, is what we're doing. And that's not even a lie. It's just taking me a while to find it. Pasta sauce is done. Amazing. I'm so glad. How is your pasta sauce? Let's just take a sharp left turn from me talking about Silent Hill and be like, oh yeah, pasta. What ice cream are we having? I'm a big fan of rum and raisin. There is a place near to me, the Ice Cream Farm. They do many flavors. I really like their licorice flavored ice cream, but I appreciate I'm in a minority because I know that not everyone likes licorice. Oh, is this it? I see the word meh, but that's because it's like a wobbly PS1 texture and it's hard to tell. Yes, it is. All right. So this, fun fact, this is kids getting ice cream. Look at them. This is one of the only canon. This is one of the only canon save files in the game, because in Silent Hill 3, you come here and you find this notepad, and you find a note from Harry saying, "Hey, here's what's happening. Here's a recap of the plot for people who came in on part 3 for some reason." Do you know what? Licorice ice cream is good. I very much love it. The ice cream farm does a lot of good flavors like that. Honeycomb is one. They've got, like... Bubblegum's a pretty good one. Is this where I need to go? This is where I need to go. We take Tiny Child there a lot. She really likes it. But then... she always wants the biggest scoop and doesn't eat any of it. Which is great, because then I get two. Shh. Well, this isn't good. So this is the part when we find our second ending decision. Do we fight Sybil or do we not? That's a rhetorical question. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the unknown liquid. Oh no, I'm not. What? Game, please. You're supposed to use the red liquid. Maybe you have to get distance between you? Have I ruined everything? I may have ruined everything. So what you're supposed to do, and what I will continue trying to do, is you're supposed to use unknown red liquid on Sybil. And this will cause whatever is happening to happen. And this is actually something they talk about in the book, the novelization of Silent Hill, where it implies that Sybil is conscious throughout all of this, and she knows what's happening, and she doesn't really want to do it. And it is the fact that she has red eyes reminds Harry of this red liquid, and he's like, okay, maybe I should try that. And he just sort of throws it out there as a Hail Mary that he doesn't know what he's gonna do with it. I really don't want to, like... I don't want to fight Sybil, because I wanted the good ending, but I may have to, because this, I appear to have glitched my own game. Oh no! Well... what I'm gonna do... I'm gonna take the L on this one. Oh, no, there we go. No, I'm not. First try. That's what you're supposed to do in this fight. Because she had one of those weird parasite things, like the doctors and the nurses. Which kind of
Sybil,
puts paid to the idea that
Wake
they
up.
specifically
Snap
are
out
being
of it.
piloted around.
Sybil.
Harry, what happened?
But this is also a plot point that, like,
Shh. Don't talk. I'll take care of you.
only barely comes up in one other Silent Hill game, and they never mention it again.
Why did they take your daughter? Why her?
I'm not sure myself. But, you know, Cheryl isn't my biological daughter. I actually haven't told her yet. She probably already knows anyway, though. We found her abandoned on the side of the highway. Nobody knew where she came from. We didn't have any kids of our own. My wife was sick. And it didn't look like she was getting any better. So we took Cheryl in.
So in that case,
There might be some connection between Cheryl and this town.
so what do you do now?
Cheryl is my daughter. I will save her no matter what.
Harry and his wife found Cheryl outside Silent Hill, so, like, there is demonstrably a connection between her and this town. Also, it's supposed to be Harry and his wife in the opening cutscene, but because this is a New Game Plus on my memory card, it's Harry and Sybil.
I figured you'd show.
So there we go.
Hold it right there. I don't know who you are or what you're trying to do, and I don't care. Just one thing. Let Cheryl go. That's all I ask. What? Damn. What is this?
I've already done it once this stream. I'm not going to do it again. That's a lie. I'll totally do it again. Just never see it coming. So you may have seen it in the inventory. That is the Flauros. That is a plot important item that Dahlia gave to us partway through the last stream.
Where's Cheryl? Give me back my daughter.
We
I-
meet at last, Alessa.
I appreciate how singularly minded Harry is.
Dahlia Gillespie? Where's Cheryl? Where is she?
Alessa, this is the end of your little game.
That's a lie. There's one more dungeon.
Could she be...
You've been a ghastly little pest, haven't you, Alessa? I was careless, thinking you couldn't escape from our spell. But Mommy didn't know how much you'd grown. That's why I couldn't catch you all by myself. But what a pity, yes? Now you're half indebted to this man for his help.
Have we been bamboozled?
What are you talking about?
Is that what this is? Were we betrayed?
Alessa, my dear little girl, there is one thing left I need you to do for me.
No! Get away from me!
Bad girl. Everything is ready. Let's go home.
What's going on here?
I kind of like that Harry just keeps having that reaction to this game. He's still not used to this. So, there is a glitch that I have had in this game. And again, I've never been able to recreate it, which is unfortunate. Is it this scene or is it the next one? It is the next one. I will tell you momentarily.
What happened? Where's Alessa and Dahlia?
Harry, listen. Something you said before has been bothering me. I just can't get it out of my head.
What is it, Lisa?
So I went to look in the basement. Even though I was scared as hell. Like you said, there were these creepy rooms. But nothing really unusual down there. But while I was down there, I got this weird feeling. Like I'd been there before. Like something happened there. But I can't quite remember somehow. What was it? Harry, help me. I'm so scared. I can't take this.
It's only a temporary thing. You're in shock from when you were knocked out. Don't fret about it. You'll remember after a while.
I mean, we're also
No.
in this hell world. That's not helping
You
any.
don't understand.
Wait! Where do you think you're going?
Ooh, okay, my controller is rumbling pretty fiercely. Am I dead? I'm nearly dead. The game didn't heal me after taking that gunshot wound to the chest. How dare it? So I had a glitch once where I loaded into this area, but Harry didn't have a head. It was just one pixel flat head stretched out polygon. And every time I did this and aimed my weapon, the camera shot all the way back into the void of the draw distance. And it very slowly came back in. And I've never, ever been able to recreate that. Ever. I'm so upset because it looked kind of great and terrifying. Anyway, we're nowhere right now. So I guess let's have fun with that. And this is something that it shows up in a couple of other Silent Hill games. I think 2 and 3 specifically. But well, we'll see when we take the Hellevator. Also, don't call it that.
In this town? What could be making things like this? I have a feeling if I take the elevator down, I'll find it. Cheryl.
I mean, it's a good pun. I do like it. But I feel like it's low-hanging fruit. But I also like low-hanging fruit. So, hey, you know. So, yes, this is Nowhere. Which, well, it looks like the hospital. And at the very least, feels like the hospital. We met Lisa here. But actually, it's kind of a mashup of everywhere that we've been so far. What? I have... Chat, I've never seen that before. Genuinely, I didn't know that was there. Okay. So yeah, check it out. We've gone from the hospital, and now we're in the antique shop. None of this is any use. There's bullets right there, my dude. There we go. Ooh, and a health kit. And I shouldn't have done that, I guess, because now enemies have spawned. But yeah, in the first 2 or 3 games, and I think 4, the entire game is like that. It's a compilation of other areas that you have found elsewhere in the game. And everything is just collapsing in on itself. And I think that's a really, really cool idea. Because, like, check it out. Now it's the classroom. With a bit of symbolism. Go home, thief. Drop dead. And you see, because, like, she's alone in the classroom. Do you see? Do you see? It's symbolism, you guys. I immediately know what to do with the pliers. I'm pretty sure we have to use those to take the key out of the faucet. And then... I don't know. One of the problems, at least in this game, is that there's no map to speak of. So... you're kind of on your own. And, like, Stream Brain is real, so I am going to get lost and just go back to places that I have been before when I don't necessarily need to. How many of those do I have? 82. I'm going to keep those. I'll need those. Key of Ophiel. That one... we've seen that one. That's outside this door. Which is not you. This one. Oh, hey, you can kind of see it written on the door. It kind of helps looking at my, my stream capture, because I can see it, like, compressed a little bit. Ooh, puzzle time. Okay. Fart Knock Life, you're not allowed to answer this one, because I know that you have solved this puzzle yourself. So, this one is 0. This one is 2. Gonna shuffle over a little bit. This one is 10. And then this guy is 4. Yeah, no, terrible puns are the best puns. It's one of the... I've mentioned it before, it's one of the recurring themes among my local group chat, is that we do just love really bad puns. So, what do we have to press on this screen, based on what we've seen so far? There we go. The answer is 6. Because it is based on the number of limbs that the pictured thing has. So a centaur has 4 legs and 2 arms, that being 6. The bull just has 4 legs. And what's this one? Well, this one's Gemini. That should be 8. Was it me, or was that animation weirdly smooth when that fell out? I don't know. And the... Hello! The Stone of Time we can use, because we've seen where we use that. I spent way too much time looking for a code among the monks of the Zodiac being displaced by a certain amount of time, since 2 of them were the same amount of numbers away from their normal month. That is... that's one way of looking at it. I would never have thought to do that. I just took a much more simplistic route of like, hey, it's a number. I know numbers. That said, I plan on doing... well, the Silent Hill series. And when I get to Silent Hill 3, we're doing that on hard difficulty. At least the puzzle's on hard difficulty. Because while I know what the answers are, it's still kind of fun to explain them. Because some of those things are absolute nonsense. There's like the hardest puzzle in the entire series in Silent Hill 3. It's great. Now, Oh, for sure. Overthinking is fantastic. Like, I literally said to somebody today, hey, I wasn't ignoring you. I fell asleep after, like, a 5 o'clock start at work this morning. And they're like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But what if I did? What if I overthink about everything? How's that? Incidentally, I forget if I finished this thought. This version of Nowhere doesn't have a map. The ones in 2 and 3 do. In 2, the character, like, sketches it in the back of his notebook. And in 3, your character remembers a map that they had made when they were a child. Just exploring the place and making a map. It's a pretty clever way of doing it, I think. I'm gonna pick you up. There we go, the Crest of Mercury. Now we can become a really good singer and do anthemic rock. Oh, that's right. Fart Knock Life. I've just remembered back to your playthrough when you didn't find that. And we'll talk about that when we come to it. To be fair, Jaded Mew and others, this is why we have the brain command in my chat. We do not brain good down here sometimes. Right, let's use that, because I may not need it for much longer. This is the final dungeon after all. And where is the screwdriver? There it is. We also have the penguin command. Big fan. Big fan. So with the steel plate screwed to the wall, we just use the screwdriver to take it off. And we find an electrified key. And to the game's credit, I don't believe we have anything that we can reasonably, like, snatch the key with. So, there we go. I think, yeah, this room has some of them, and now we play Fatal Frame, because we got ourselves a camera. Just what we wanted. I do love Fatal Frame. Like, genuinely, it's one of the few series that, like, legitimately terrifies me. I love that game. I'm pretty sure I can go back this way. Yes, because there's that. Okay. I shouldn't have done that, because I'm lost. Let's go through this door, because I don't think I properly finished exploring this area yet. I appreciate the offer of, like, no spoilers necessarily, because... Oh, hello. What are you? There is a slate. Okay. Cool. I appreciate people offering help, and I know that a lot of the time they are only trying to help. I know that I'm only trying to help when I offer advice, but at the same time I do also get overzealous and be like, oh hey, here's the answer. Oh, here we go. Names engraved on a lithograph. The Grim Reaper's list. Yes, the head count is set. Young and old, lined up in order of age. Then the pathway opens. Awaiting them, the frenzied uproar, the feast of death. Oh yeah, I know we're just checking out the commands we've set up, but like, that's just how I'm feeling about spoilers. Right. So, youngest to oldest. Albert, Lydia. Alert! There we go. R. T. The idea was suggested to me by Empirical Woodland, because I am much the same as certain other streamers where I will just ask aloud, hey, I wonder where this goes. And the internet being what it is, people will say, well, it goes over here, young fellow. And that's cool and all, but I just ask a lot of rhetorical questions. But when I go, alright, penguins, where does this go? Then people know. And I've seen the same with...
Lisa, what's the matter with you?
I get it now. Why I'm still alive even though everyone else is dead. I'm not the only one who's still walking around. I'm the same as them. I just hadn't noticed it before.
Lisa.
Stay by me, Harry. Please. I'm so scared. Help me. Save me from them. Please. Harry.
It's this bit, and it's real sad, which is a shame because I love this music so much. So it's deliberately kind of unclear, but they go through it in some of the guides and the book, where basically Lisa has realized that she is a dream, and she is waking up inside of this dream, and now she is just ceasing to be, which is terrifying. Like, I've had dreams where the people have acted as though they know me, or like, oh, I'm back in this place, but I don't think I've ever had anyone that was part of my dream realize that was what was going on. So this is Lisa's diary. This explains a little more of her character. Ask doctor to let me quit being in charge of that patient. It's too weird. He's still alive, but with wounds that won't heal. I'm not gonna do Linkin Park, although I really, really want to. Told the doctor I quit. Won't work at that hospital anymore. The room is filled with insects. Even with doors and windows shut, they get in to spite me. To the hospital. Feeling bad. Need to throw up, but nothing comes out. Vomiting only bile. Blood and pus flow from the bathroom faucet. I try to stop it, but it won't turn off. Need drug. Help me. And that relates to something that we have seen towards the start of the game, like in the opening cutscene, where Lisa and Kaufman were hanging out, and essentially what is happening is he's keeping her hooked on drugs in order to do whatever she's doing in this hospital. As in taking care of a particular patient, as we can see from the note right there. What puzzle items do I have? What is next? I think I need to use that on... Yes! I should vocalize some of these thoughts instead of just thinking them. How's that? We need to go to the 3rd floor. There we go. The light to the future. And, do you know what? I'm just gonna pause a moment and drop that music a little bit, because this is a bunch of, like, whistling kettles directly into my head, and I am not a fan of that. Like, I like a lot of this game's ambience and soundtrack, not keen on this. So, just let me grab a pen, because we need to do a puzzle. The paintings talk about using a light, and since we have a flash, we've got some shapes. And that's on the right. I also like that these guys now show up on the textures of the paintings, so we can just turn and look at them, instead of just using the camera again. But there we go. That is one of those. L shape and an arrow. And what we do with those is we come to these otherwise completely impenetrable doors and make the shapes that we have just seen on the little button combinations. So that one was a triangle, and then this was a down arrow. Is there something in here? Oh, I hope there's something in here. Oh, yes, there it is. The obviously other modeled item in the room. Birdcage key. Cool. And then through the other door. So let me go back to my notes. We had the plus, and then the gate, and then a triangle. Triangle that went like that. I kind of like that as a puzzle, because, like, there's no reasonable way you're going to guess those, right? You've got to work out how to do that. And then put the key in yourself. Now, there should be, but there isn't. Okay, we've missed some notes somewhere. There's supposed to be a note in this room which explains basically the rest of the story and wraps everything up. It's only in the English and Japanese versions. Don't know why they took it out of the American version. But basically it talks about how a lot of notable figures around Silent Hill have died in mysterious ways. There's still a drug problem. Police can't work out what it is. And it talks about the fire at the Gillespie house. And interestingly, it talks about how all of this was an accident. Or at least it implies that all of this was an accident. I'm pretty sure it was in here, right? No. Then that one. Yeah. Key of Phaleg. Which I believe is the door here. I think it's a case of when the translators went through the notes and they found one that wasn't immediately obvious, they may have just removed it. Oh, it's these guys. You probably can't see those. So those are the same model as the Grey Child enemies, which were taken out of the game. But because they're see-through, they're not human enough to count as actual enemies. So, they were allowed to be in the game. Now, this puzzle right here. This is one of the few times when the game is, like, deliberately unfair. You've got to use the Ring of Contract to put that chain back together. And then you can take the dagger. Because if you do that in the... what a bizarre spam message. Let's get rid of that. Because if you take that dagger without having locked the fridge, a monster just bursts out and kills you and you die. Hope you saved. But because we've locked it, we're fine. It was talking about a nifty trick that their cat can do. Hey, you got me. And, yeah, Fart Knock Life for Us found that out the fun way. Because, while I don't like backseating, I was there going, you might want to... You might... No, okay. That's fine. And I think that's one of the few unfair deaths in this game. Because, like, I'm down for I got something wrong and now suffer the consequences. That was just unfair. The Key of Bathor. And then, what's in here? Oh, I remember this. Right. Let's reload my gun, because I'm kind of paranoid. And watch the videotape. Didn't really work in the real world.
What is it?
Seemed to be doing a lot better here.
Unusually high fever. Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse. But
Nobody
barely breathing.
Nobody tell Thessaly Lerner that this is being streamed on the internet, because her agent will shut the whole thing down.
The blood and pus just start oozing through.
I'm only partially
Why?
joking.
What is keeping that child alive? I can't stand it any longer. I won't tell a soul. Promise. So please.
So for a bit more context, the original release of Silent Hill 3, you find that videotape, and it plays. But Konami didn't actually get the rights from the voice actress to use it, or at least reuse it outside of this game. So they got sued, and in subsequent versions of the game, you can't hear it. You just have to look at it. And the character comments on what nonsense this is. So something cool in this room is... Where is it now? Basically, if you're able to look around at the room, you can see things like, not only are there eyes, but there's also, like, there's hands, and there's words, and there's, like, sketches of certain boss enemies. Which, incidentally, also explains where a couple of the boss monsters came from in this game. Oh, this is a very final room, looking room. Let's come back to that. We'll do that later. So the couple of the enemies that I didn't really explain as I was going through, they come from literature. Like the flying monsters are based on pterodactyls. Because Alessa had read The Lost World by Conan Doyle as a child, and that made her scared of pterodactyls. So now they show up as monsters in her like nightmare world. And we also read the fairy tale about the giant lizard that ate the hunter. So then that giant lizard showed up, and now that's a monster as well. And I think... yeah, I'm going to say this is the way I need to go. Go! I was expecting nurses. Not creepy shadow children. Get out of here. Don't like you. That's not the exact attitude that caused this to be a problem in the first place. And I think that might be the last key. Because I think that unlocks the last door in here, which is where I get the last key item. And then, if I'm checking my notes, we should be good to go for the ending.
Everything is going according to plan, sheltered in the womb.
But it's not done yet. Half the soul is lost. That is why the seed lies dormant.
And what soul remains captured in that husk is buried deep down in the subconscious.
Are you trying to say it won't work? That wasn't our agreement.
No, these are just stalling tactics. If we lend a hand, we will be able to get power. Never fear, the promise shall not be broken.
But the power we could draw now will be very weak. Almost nothing. Unless we get the other half of the soul.
We'll use a magical spell. Feeling this child's pain, it's sure to come.
But that will take time.
These are definitely healing drinks. I should be able to pick those up. So I believe that is the last story beat. There's actually, no, come to think of it, there's a little more just beyond the final boss door. So we'll explain that when we get to there. And this is the final door. Yes, it is. Do you know what? I'm kind of boring like that. I just have an electric kettle. My mum has a tea kettle, and she loves it. She loves the howling noise that it makes. Sorry, I'm going to solve this puzzle before I actually solve the puzzle. So, thou possess them to guard thy spirit. Evoke 5 rites. Unveil thy fate. And you can see from the indentations on the door, we have to use these items that we have found and just slot them into the door, and that will open it up. I like how this music is just amping up and up and up and up and up as I go through it. So, what I'm going to do is make sure everything is reloaded, equip my rifle, and I'm going to save. Because you need to save. Now, what I'm going to do, I actually plan on running a little bit longer than 3 hours today, because the final boss is through this door. And there's something else that I'm going to do shortly afterwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause that. I'm going to go to my Be Right Back screen. You guys should as well. Stand up, have a stretch, get a drink, and then I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So I will see you soon. Okay, I came back. Empirical Woodland, do you have a Be Right Back screen in your life? Does it have thematically inappropriate flute music? Because I keep thinking I should change that for when I do horror games, but then, nah, I love it. So, let's go to the final boss.
No. No. I don't want to. Do what Mommy tells you now. I just want you to lend me a teeny bit of your power. That's all. No. I don't want to do it. It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good, too. Oh, but Mommy, I just want to be with you. Just two of us. Please understand. Oh, yes, I see. Maybe Mommy has been wrong. Mommy! Why didn't I see this before? There's no reason to wait. Herein lies the mother's womb, containing the power to create life. I could have done it all myself. Mommy?
That's not a good sign. Let's see what we find down these here stairs. Again, we're going to the basement of the basement. It's never a good sign.
I was shocked to realize the talisman of Metatron was being used.
That was pronounced and spelt wrong.
Returning at last. Just a little longer and all would have been for naught. It's all because of that man. We must be thankful to him. Even though Alessa has been stopped, his little girl has to go. What a pity.
Good cackle.
Freeze! What in the devil's name?
think you'd make it this far.
Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her?
What are you talking about? You've seen her many times, restored to her former self.
I'm in no mood for jokes.
Don't you see? She's right there.
That's absurd.
You are the only one who thinks so.
That was a reaction image on a forum I was on for a longest
Why are
time.
you doing this?
It's been a long 7 years. For the 7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alessa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. He has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come. The time is nigh.
I feel like that's spelt wrong as well.
Released from pain and suffering. Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise, my daughter will be the mother of God.
So specifically, the monsters we've been seeing have been part of Alessa's nightmare. It's stuff that she herself has been afraid of. She is afraid of dogs. She is afraid of bugs. She is afraid of the medical staff that are supposed to be helping her, but aren't.
Quit screwing around. Return things to how they were before.
Kaufman!
Also, I like how he's
Did I
just
ask for this?
he's got the most direct action
Nobody
here.
uses
Just,
me.
I have this gun.
Get away
Let's
with
go.
Your work is over. We don't need you anymore. What do you think you could accomplish by coming here?
My, aren't we getting cocky? Bet you can't see this.
A glove it is! I thought I got rid of that!
All I had to do was plant it somewhere for you to find. You all, well, kept you busy. Ha! You're easy. And there's more where this came from.
Stop it!
So normally you will fight the angel as the final boss fight, but because we did the side plot and we found this bottle and Kaufman took it off us, we get this little bonus scene, which changes the situation a little bit. So we've already seen what that liquid is capable of doing. Just a small amount was enough to, like, completely exorcise Sybil.
What the?
But a full vial of it? Well, let's see what happens with that. It's one of the hardest things to animate in this game. Look at that vert count change. Anyway, now we have to fight the devil instead. Thankfully, question marks, it doesn't really change the fight all that much. The strategy is still the same. It's just incredibly powerful. Can I turn my light on? I can't turn my light on. Okay. So, we run around. We're supposed to be able to avoid that. Don't know why we didn't. We're supposed to run, avoid the lightning, and then unload. At which point, we begin running again. Well, there we go. It's supposed to be a lot easier than this. Oh well. This is why we saved, just before we came down. If I continue, will it put me back where I was supposed to be, like, right at the start of that fight? I sure hope so. Game? How many of these do you think we have to skip? Is it bloodstained levels where you skip just every third line of dialogue? Nope, we're good. All right. I genuinely don't know why this is giving me so much hassle. It's supposed to be the case that if you're running and, like, banking to the side, you're supposed to be able to avoid those. Hopefully, then, I'm going to be able to out-damage him. I hope that's working. It's hard to see the blood splatters from the distance like this. Also, kind of handy that it just lets me do this in the menu, right? I'm gonna say yes. Yes, it is. I am going to use one of those. Now I'm immune to, like, most things. Hopefully, this will do me well. Don't reload. Yeah, that's like the Book of Harry. That's how that goes. God was summoned, and then some dude shot him with an infinite bullet cheat. It's fine. See, it's fine. Dead easy. We did it. Fun fact, there is a very easy way to beat that boss and just skip it entirely. If you come into this fight with no ammunition, you can't hit the boss. And if you run out of ammunition, you can't hit the boss. So the game just sees your 0 ammunition count and skips to this scene. It's not a case of God showed up and some dude shot him. God showed up and just died. I do like that a lot better than the game just soft-locking you in the fight, because I've got a lot of bullets because I've got the bullet adjust turned up. So I have twice as many as I should have. But yes, depending on how you play, you could come into that fight with very little or nothing at all. And you just die, right? So the game comes up with a workaround. And I appreciate that. So the first part of the ending that we got involves keeping Sybil alive. The second involves keeping Kaufman alive. So these two scenes only play in certain circumstances. Like, you're not gonna see this if you're on a bad ending path. Like, I kind of appreciate the 11th hour. No, you don't win. You are demonstrably the bad guy. You don't win. That's a stock sound effect. That's a stock gunshot. I love this music so much. This is great. It's called Tears of, and it's wonderful. I mean, I like this ending sequence in general. I think it's fantastic. I also like this as an ending, just running away from the nightmare into the fog and then question marks? It's really good as like an ambiguous ending. I like it very much. Now, I wonder, can I skip these? Yes, I can. So, I do this for good reason. Do stick around, dear viewers. This scene plays after the Good Plus ending, and it also shows up at the start of the game. Oh yeah, there's also a blooper reel in this one. I completely forgot about that. This is a shot from the trailer. That face shows up in Silent Hill 3. So does that one on the left. I absolutely love pre-rendered blooper reels. Like, when Pixar and those used to do it, and DreamWorks, they were the best. And this is the only Silent Hill game that does it. There are some really goofy shenanigans in the rest of the games, but this is the only one that's like, yeah, no, we're just on set, and we're messing around, and we're having fun. And the music's called Other Side, which is on the other side of the credits, do you see? That's my favorite one. Kinda gets me every time. Like, I wonder how many of these are actual bloopers. Like, did this happen in motion capture? Or was this just... we've got some time left before crunch, let's just do something goofy with it? Right. Let's see how we did. That is not too bad, actually. So in the background, you can see the items that we have unlocked on subsequent playthroughs. Doesn't really count because we've got all of that stuff. If we had got the bad minus ending, we would have gotten the katana, but we're not doing that. Now, I said I was going to run over, and I am, because you may have remembered I saved on the boat for no reason at all. I'm coming to realize that was a mistake. I should have saved elsewhere, but there is a very good reason for that. Just let me check. Did I do that here? Nope. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. I should have done this later on, because there was a save point later on, and I could have saved there, where we need to do this, but that'll show me. Now I will know for next time. And that proves my point from earlier. Yes, you can drop the enemies into the water. I am retroactively justified. Let's see if the rifle does me any good. It didn't before, but let's turn that on as well. I thought, can I sneak around? Can I get past some of these monsters with the light off? Potentially, but also, looking at my stream monitor, it's completely black, so let's not do that. It's like, you see the stopping power on this hunting rifle? That's why you're going to want to use that. Ideally in a situation where you're able to hit the enemy, but like, I don't know, it's pretty useful. These birds are the worst. And I don't want to, like, just run to my destination, because we saw how badly it went for me last time. But also, I'm so bad at aiming. Or rather, the game is bad at aiming, because the game doesn't aim very often. Unless you've got the laser gun. Which I currently do not. I need to heal. I need to heal pretty badly. Need food badly. Shots do not hurt the flies yet. Anyway. The reason we are going this way is, well, we kind of missed something when we were in the lighthouse. And it's kind of a series tradition. Or what would become a series tradition, because, you know, it's the first game. I'm doing that thing again. See, this is why Empirical Woodland very helpfully set up the save command to remind me to stop dinking around and thinking that I'm better than I am, and maybe save the game occasionally. Right, is this the end? This is the end. Okay. See, if I'd been smart, I would have saved here, not in the boat. But, you know. That was a while ago, and now I don't have the time to fix that. But it's fine, because we're here. So, if you play this game as a New Game Plus, you can find the Channeling Stone in the supermarket right at the start of the game. And the game gives you no indication of what you need to do with it. At all. What you need to do with it is use it in 5 specific locations. And I've shown off 4 of them. There's the roof of the school. There is outside the hospital just before the moth fight. There is Norman's motel parking lot. There is inside the boat. And I do believe there is right here. And having done that, I may have lied. There actually are UFOs in this game. Who knew? And this is how you get a secret ending. Which kind of becomes a staple for the rest of the series. Except for 4. Also, fun fact, these art screens are straight up copied from the Mars Attacks trading cards.
I've seen a little girl around here, short black hair.
Like this one in particular, that's a Mars Attacks trading card, but like traced to be Grey Aliens and Harry. It's pretty cool. Anyway, they zap him with the laser gun, and off they go. Empirical Woodlands is correct. This is the canon ending. But even better than that is you get the greatest piece of music in the game at the Star Wars crawl. And I am genuinely upset. Hang on. Yes! What is discordance? I love it. I'm genuinely annoyed that nobody has done a good version of this song, because like all the parts are there, but it's intentionally, every part of it is just kind of off. And we're about to get to the main melody, so we'll find out why. It's so bad! But I'm still sitting here jamming out to it. But yeah, this is the canon ending, in a way, because the next 2 or 3 UFO endings are a continuation of this. And it's great. Crowley, there's your goofy voice saying Silent Hill voice. Well, thank you very much, Ilana Ray. I will take that feedback, and I will pass that along to the person who drew it, because they are exceptionally skilled as an artist, and that is why I went to them. I have a couple more slots available, so I'm going to fill those up. Same artist, same kind of thing. And with a couple more subscriber points, I get another one. So I'll have another one waiting in the wings pretty soon. Yes, we do indeed have an emote. It's Adeli having a cup of tea. And I didn't even intend for that to... I'm sorry, is that Stars? Why is Stars showing up in the credits to this? That's the wrong series, Konami. I love how bad this music is. Have I mentioned this? Anyway, that's the end of Silent Hill. And forgetting the UFO ending, we end the game early. I wonder if that was a disc read error that's sliding around the screen there. We end the game early. And I believe this will give us the Hyper Blaster in our inventory. Let's find out. Hello, Valden. How are you? That's probably the last time I'm going to do that. I could have done the Silent Hill voice then, but I opted not to. Oh well. And keeping the tradition of the series, of like the closed loops theory going, Harry wakes up right at the start of the game again and has to do the whole thing over again. This is not me going to play through the whole game again. Do not worry. But I believe if we check our inventory, we have a Hyper Blaster. And this one we can use. Like with the ready weapon button. And we don't have to plug the actual physical gun into the PlayStation and aim it and fire it at the screen. It's not a very good one, though, because it has a red laser beam. It fades red through to orange through to green. And the closer to green it is, the better it is. And if it's green, everything just dies in a single hit. Because that's how hard it is to get. And yes, Crowley 9, it is modeled after one of the Justifier that came with Lethal Enforcers. I have one of the lime green ones on my floor in front of my PlayStation. For people who missed it, I showed this off in the last stream. The only way to use it is by physically turning on the gun and firing it at the screen. That's how you use the Hyper Blaster without getting the UFO ending. Kind of weird that they would do that. But that's Silent Hill 1. Isn't that nice? I'm so glad that I'm getting to play through this series and start at the start, and we'll see what else is coming up. And now I'm going to have to wonder what I'm going to do with my next Monday slot. We'll find out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my ending screen, because that's the end of my stream for today. Silent Hill. If I load, it's just the final boss, or like the new game that we just got to. Although you're quite right, it's kind of weird that they would put it in quotation marks as opposed to like an arrow or something. I never thought about that. It's an interesting thought. But for now, let's go over here and do this. And I'm gonna look for somebody to raid. I wonder whomst. We don't currently have any English language people playing Silent Hill. So I don't know. The last time I raided into someone, it was a French-speaking channel, and he was super cool about it. And he kept saying, "Oh, hey, thanks CPC Gamer for the raid," but like in French, so none of us could really speak to him, which is kind of unfortunate. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to turn to you guys. Does anybody in chat have any suggestions or requests or ideas for whomst we could raid? Just to say hello and to share the love, while I just lean down here off camera and start shutting down my consoles. Don't mind me. Zark is streaming? Let's raid Zarkrai. I think that is how you spell that. It's not, it's the Zarkrai. You see, this is why I check. Alright, so, the Zarkrai is playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Amazing. So, let's go say hello to them. Thank you all very much for streaming. I'll be back on Wednesday and Thursday with more Bloodstained. And I hope you have a good evening. So until next time, goodbye.